Hello, SHDA would like to welcome you to today's webinar, Access Control and Applications. This webinar is being recorded for future educational purposes and will be made available on the SHDA website in the next week or so. Your feedback is important to us, and you will receive a short survey following the program. We hope you would take a few minutes to give us your thoughts. Please utilize the chat feature below. If any questions do arise throughout the program, we will make sure you have plenty of time to answer those at the end of the session. Please help me welcome today the presenter of the program, Greg Millis, Business Development Manager at Codelocks. Greg is an experienced business development manager with a demonstrated history of success working in the wholesale industry, possessing over 20 years of sales and marketing experience, as well as small business ownership, where he proudly serves and supports his local community. He has spent 9 years in the access control industry, focusing primarily on business development, education, sales, and marketing, as well as product development. His specialty is OEM, cabinet industry, as well as gate and fence markets. Greg, the floor is yours.
Thanks, Trish. Thank you, everybody, for attending today. And as Trish said, I am from Codelocks. I'm the business development manager, and my goal today is just to educate everyone on some of our products, how they fit into the market, where you could utilize these for access control, whether it be on a hospital, a university, a school, maybe an outdoor gate. Anything that we can do to make your lives easier and show you what we have to offer the access control market is what I'm hoping you guys will gain out of the webinar today. So that being said, Codelocks Incorporated is a global company. We are celebrating our 31st birthday this year. We were founded in the UK. We are a privately held to this day family company. We have sales offices in the UK, Australia, the US, and China. We are our manufacturer. We manufacture our own products. We started 31 years ago with a mechanical lock, much like you see in the picture here, push button, non-battery operated mechanical door lock. We are a company that believes in our values. We are one team. We meet weekly, globally. I have a weekly call with the UK, and we always try to put our customers first, whether we're integrating new products into the industry, listening to customer feedback, whatever we can do to improve our line and take that to the next step to improve your access control. That being said, I'll kind of jump into it. We have 3 primary product categories at Codelocks. Our first is probably our most familiar with anyone on the webinar today. It is our CL range, which we call our Codelocks. We abbreviate CL, just stands for Codelock products. And this is going to be anything that primarily looks like a standard door lock, a 2-sided, whether it is a spring latch, a dead bolt, maybe a surface mount deadbolt. But inside that category, the main category, we have subcategories: mechanical, electronic, smart, and gate solutions. And through individual slides, I'll get a little more in detail to those. We offer a marine grade product in the US. There is no true barrier or true certification for marine grade, but because we're a UK based company, we adhere to the EU, European Union certification process for our marine grade products. Our marine grade products go through a very vigorous salt spray chamber test. They're in this high pressurized salt spray chamber, and they have to obviously pass the time limit of 1,000 or 2,000 hours, depending on the product, to become certified. And we just kind of adapt that into the US so that our customers know, hey, you're getting a quality marine grade product if you choose to go with a marine grade mechanical lock. So that being said, our first product category, or our first series, would be our CL200. This is kind of the introductory and access control. This is where we house our deadbolts, our knob turnkey, push button mechanical locks. None of these are battery operated. They're 14 button locks. Single code. A mechanical lock only has a single code. It does not have a brain, so it can't decipher sequence, anything like that. It's mechanical cipher lock. So it's just you're typing a code to release a mechanism that releases either a latch, a deadbolt shown here in the picture, maybe a surface mounted deadbolt, which would be integrated into the interior body of the lock. These types of products are good for residential and light duty commercial applications. Maybe the deadbolt on your front door of your house, maybe a shed, aluminum storefront door in a strip mall. Most of our locks in this series do come with a key override, SC1 Schlage standard keyway, and very basic, very economical, limited lifetime warranty. Just a very robust little mechanical lock. Jumping up a series into our 400 series. Now we get into our lever locks. Lever locks are unique in that they're non-handed, meaning it doesn't matter if you have a right-hand door or a left-hand door. You're just going to install them per how your door is handed. All of our lever locks have a breakaway clutch. A lot of times an installer will get a call a few days later that the lock is broke, the handle is in the downward position. That is actually by design. That is a safety feature that protects the internal workings of the lock. If somebody types an incorrect code and tries to pull the handle too vigorously, or maybe it's on an outdoor gate and a kid steps on, uses the lock as a step stool to jump over the gate, the handle will actually break away. And again, that's just by design. Simply pull the handle back up into a 90-degree position and press C and retype your code, and the lock should work just fine. All of our mechanical locks are available in a stainless finish, which is exterior rated, or our obviously marine grade finish, which is going to be black, which I spoke about in the earlier slide. You do not need to go with a marine grade application for an exterior lock. All of our locks are exterior rated in the mechanical line. A 400 series, this is going to be good again for a residential backyard gate, maybe a light duty employee entrance, or a security gate inside of a factory. Our mechanical locks are available as the picture shows, with a single side combination. The interior body is free passage. You can also get these in what we refer to as BB, or back to back, where you would have a keypad on each side. You'd have to enter a code to get in, enter a code to get out. They are independent from each other, so you can have one code work the outside, a completely different code work the inside. Something unique to the Codelocks line of mechanical locks is the passage function. Most or some mechanical locks on the market have passage function, as does Codelocks. We do the passage one of two ways. The customer can order the lock with the passage function or without the passage function, therefore not changing the integrity of the lock by having to remove pins to limit the passage access. If they don't want a passage lock, they would enter or order a 10 series versus a 15 series. So we do make that available. Again, some customers prefer passage, some do not. So it's very convenient that Codelocks offers that choice up to the customer. Moving ahead to the 500 series, this is going to be more of a commercial rated lock, much heavier duty. As our locks grow, so do all of the components. So the internal workings of a 400 are not compatible with a 500 or a 600. The tumblers are larger, the springs are larger, the gears are larger, the body is larger. Everything grows with the lock, which gives it that heavier duty rating. we'd pay a lot of attention to the integrity of the locks and what type of application they're going into. We would advise customers to reach out with specific questions on, will this product fit this application? We're very big on getting the customer the right product for whatever access control they're going for. Again, the 500 series is going to be available with a single-sided as shown here, or a back-to-back version, so silver or black. And it is a commercial rated lock, so it is a heavier duty lock. This can go on, an outdoor gate that's being used hundreds of times a day, or a storefront that has heavy access. Again, it is available with passage or non-passage at the time of order. The 600 is our Cadillac of mechanical locks. Same holds true for the 600 as all the other series. It's available in silver or black being marine grade. Available in single-sided or double-sided. Standard 600 series comes with a spring latch, but it is also available, as you can see here, with an Adams Wright style latch. One of the key unique features to the 600, it is a UL listed fire rated product. So any door that needs a fire rated lock, you could take advantage of a mechanical lock and put this on that door. It has been tested to over 700,000 cycles, which makes this a grade 2 lock. That test was done over 5 years ago. We feel the improvements that we've made on this, we may be closer to a grade 1 on this. We just haven't retested. That being said, the 600 series is very unique in that with the key override integrated into the lock, this lock, the key serves 2 functions. I can retract the latch using the key. So I have key override access. If I have forgotten my code, I can use the key to enter. The key also is a programming key. I turn the key in the opposite direction, and that allows me to change the code without removing the lock and removing the tumblers. Most of the mechanical locks I've shown in previous slides, to change the code, the lock has to come off the door or the gate. A panel on the back is removed, and then you have individual tumblers that are color coded that are rearranged in order or sequence of the code that you want. On the 600, that is not necessary, as the key serves as a programming key. By putting it into programming mode, each button, you can see they're kind of round in nature. They have 180 degrees of rotation. So you're either rotating it on to code or off to code, depending on what your code you want. And again, with a mechanical, because there's no batteries, you can use a 1-digit code, a 2-digit code, a 3-digit code. It's endless, up to obviously 13 buttons. The C is not part of the code that you use, but you can set your code to however many digits you want, knowing that the more digits you use, the better security, as that gives it more infinite possibilities of being guessed. Again, available back to back, and each side is independent. We also offer this in a small format interchangeable core. If the customer has their own keyway that they're using and they would like to order this without a keyway, they can do that. They have that option, and they can install it with using their own keyway. That takes us to our electronic line. We're still in the CL product range, but our electronic lines kind of follow the same path as our mechanical locks. We add a 0 to most of the lines. So instead of a 200 mechanical, now you've got a 2000 electronic. Again, the 2000 is going to be spring latch, mortise deadbolt, and then the picture I'm showing here is that surface mount deadbolt, where the deadbolt is mounted in the interior side of the lock body, and that you don't have to, you can see on the face of the door, there's nothing mortised into that door. So this would be perfect for a a slide or a swinging cabinet door, maybe a vinyl fence, a shed, anything of that nature. Our electronic locks are all battery operated, depending on the model, 2 or 4 batteries. Our electronic locks have 80 individual user codes. Everything is programmed at the face of the lock. So you have a programming sequence that you type into the lock, enter your user codes per needed. Everything has audible displays. So you have a blue light and a red light. Anytime a correct code is entered, blue light would appear, incorrect code, a red light would appear. Low battery indicator. If I type a correct code, it flashes blue. And then if it immediately flashes red, that's telling me my batteries are dying. We do try to give the customer plenty of time to change those batteries. Most of our electronic locks have been tested in excess of 80,000 cycles. We feel, again, depending on the application, very comfortable telling the customer to get in the habit of changing your batteries once a year. Nothing special about the batteries, simple alkaline, non-rechargeable Duracell or Energizer battery. All of our electronic locks do come with a key override. So in the event the batteries do die on you, you can get in using a key. And again, the keys are a SC1 Schlage keyway, 5 or 6 pin, again, depending on your specific lock model. Our electronic locks do offer 10 one-time disposable user codes. I use the example of the cable TV guy coming to your house. You're not at home, you give him the code, he enters your house using his disposable code. As soon as he leaves, that code is gone. It can't be used again. It's been flushed from the system. This is our 4000 series, just moving up a notch from the 2000 series. Again, following the 200, 400, 2000, 4000. This is where we house our lever handle. Everything else is pretty much the same. It is a standalone battery operated non-handed lock with the key override. Excuse me. Everything programmable at the keypad. And the battery operated lever handle locks, the 4000 and the 5000 I'll show you next, also come with 2 extra REM ports that can be utilized for hardwiring releases for either a fire alarm release. So you would hardwire it, and if it's in an office and the fire alarms go off, the locks automatically unlock. So when the fire department shows up, they don't have to beat the locks off the door. There's a secondary switch that also needs to be hardwired, but that would give the ability for someone to have a button under their desk and hit a button and remotely release that lock to let the UPS driver in or the Uber lunch person let them in. The 5000 series is one of our most popular access control locks. You see this a lot in hospitals. This has a 3-hour UL certified fire rating. So any hospital door that has that fire rating on it, going from a common area into an ICU unit or a surgery operating room, those doors are typically fire rated. We have a very inexpensive solution for that. Again, 80 user codes, programmable at the keypad, key override, and the 5000 is unique as well, as we can do this in a back-to-back model. We can have a keypad on each side of the door, allowing access control on both sides of the door, coming in and going out. We differentiate between electronic and smart simply because of functionality. Each electronic or smart lock that we offer are standalone battery operated locks, all with key override. The reason we differentiate them, again, is functionality. On the electronic locks, the 2000, 4000, and 5000, you've got 80 user codes. when you go in its access is by push button or key. When you get into these smart locks, we offer two models. Access is by code, card, key, or free app on your phone. And you go from 80 user codes to 350 user codes. So again, perfect application would be a small office, maybe a dentist office, someone who is looking for access control. This also has an audit trail through the app on the phone. You can in real life time see audits, see when a code is being used, when a card is being used, time of day and date, actual date. It also has and the app has a scheduling feature, which is very unique in that I have a access control for a large multifamily housing with swimming pools. And we have smart locks on the swimming pools. The pools are open 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. each day. That is scheduled right into the lock. 300 tenants. Each tenant has their own code. Those codes only work on that lock between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. So now the maintenance staff doesn't need to worry about somebody being in the pool after 8 or before 8. If a tenant moves out, it's very easy to immediately delete that single app without disturbing the other 299 tenants. So again, very inexpensive way for access control. We do a lot of these on office buildings, employee entrance doors. The boss can now have an app on his phone and see what time employees are coming in or going out, or which employees are coming in or going out. The 5510, we refer to it as the big brother of the 4510. Same exact functionality, 350 user codes. The biggest difference again is the 5510, like the 5210, has a 3-hour UL fire rating on it. So this can go back into that hospital application, maybe a sensitive area that has a fire rated door, high security area. And now you also have that audit trail capability. You can pull information right off your phone, email it to yourself, send it to the cloud, and see exactly when people are coming and going, who was in there last. Just an endless amount of data that can be shared and utilized in that app. The app itself, we are migrating to a proprietary app where we own the app. The C3 app is something that we have developed over time, and these screenshots show what the app looks like when you open it. First slide on the far left, when you open the main page, that's going to display what locks you have. Anything that is within range, and again, the 4510 and 5510, I don't think I touched on it, are Bluetooth locks. They are not Wi-Fi locks. They do not need any internet connectivity to them. In order for the app to work, you just need to be within Bluetooth range. We typically tell people 30 feet. But when you open your app, you can see I have two locks listed, the 4510 and the 5510. The 5510 has a padlock on it. That indicates to me as the user that I am within Bluetooth range of the 5510. I don't have a padlock on the 4510, so I'm not within Bluetooth range. The small A that is circled on the padlock, that is a secondary indicator that tells me that I am the administrator for that lock. I'm the only one that can make changes to the lock. I'm the only one that can delete codes, add codes. Now I can grant access to anyone who has a valid email address, but they would only have access to the lock. They wouldn't be able to change the codes. They wouldn't be able to see the audit trails, etc. That's always left for the administrator privileges. One of the new features on the new C3 app that's coming out is dual administrator privileges. We do a lot of access control for VRBO, vacation rentals. Most vacation rentals are owned by husband and wife. One of them always has to be the administrator, and inevitably the husband's unavailable. Someone's talking to the wife. She can't make any changes because she's not the administrator, or vice versa. We've made some changes in our app that allow dual privileges, or dual administrative privileges, I should say, so that you can set each lock up with 2 administrators, primarily for that application. If you go to the middle slide, when you swipe to the left, this is where all of your information comes up: info, logs, and sync. The final slide on the far right is the middle one, logs. When you press the log button, pops up, you can see a date, 6/29 of 2022. You can see everything that has happened on that date. A card was deleted, access was denied at 9:14, a code was used to access the lock at 8:46, etc. Anytime you see a code, obviously that means a code was used. Anytime you see a C number, that is a frequency card. That just indicates it's a card being used. The remaining digits are just the frequency of that individual card. If a user was using his app, their name would show up. It would, instead of access denied, it would say Greg Millis, and just give a time. Additional slides. The info slide is where all of the information is held: what your lock name is, what your lock ID is. You have a battery status indicator there. Obviously, we are the manufacturer. This is important because as we send out new firmware updates, they will be housed here. You will get a notification in your app that your lock has a new firmware update. Click on it. Again, within Bluetooth range, it will press, or it will push that update right to the lock. And anytime you do need service on this and you call our tech department, they can very easily have you check your latest firmware version. So in this instance, 1.1.29 would be what you would let our technician know is the version of your lock. And if there's been 2 updates since that may be why it's not working correctly, and he would have you update your firmware. Time zone, you want to make sure you're setting the correct time zone. Most of our smart locks are shipped out of our Indianapolis warehouse. So if they're going to California or New Mexico or wherever, a time zone is different for you. Just make sure you're changing that time zone. And then lastly, on the far right is where you have your scheduling. You can schedule, this is just kind of a sample screenshot, but you can schedule a code-free mode, which is a nice feature if you wanted to leave the lock unopened or unlocked for, say, business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. You could simply program that in, so no code was needed. People could come and go between those hours. Once 5:01 hits, it's locked, and a code would be needed to enter the building or the facility. But again, because it is a proprietary app, we're not relying on a third party. We can control all the updates. We can push out to our customers. We can communicate with our customers. Again, just offering you a better way for access control. Lastly, in our CL line is our gate solution products. And again, it's just taking the locks that you have previously seen so far and applying them to the gate world, whether in this instance it is a pre-drilled weldable gate box. We kit everything. Customer only needs to tell us what type of lock they want. So anything that you have seen previously, if there is a specific lock that jumps out at you that you want to put on a gate, just let us know what lock. We kit everything up, send it out. Very customer friendly way of getting you that access control again. And then gate solution products. Lastly is our panic hardware kits. Again, same concept. We're kitting everything for the customer, for the end user. They're just letting us know what lock they want, and they're going to receive 2 boxes with everything they need to mount onto a gate. That concludes the CL portion of our products. The secondary category would be our KL, which is we refer to our kit locks, and these are not your traditional looking or appearing door locks. These are cabinet locks, locker locks, cam style locks, something that has an exterior push button body and interior is just a cam. You're literally only opening these from the outside. So a file cabinet, a pharmaceutical cabinet, a locker, a lot of OEM is done in here, a lot of OEM special cabinets, furniture cabinets, anything that people want to access control on. And again, within that range, Codelocks offers mechanical, electronic, and smart. So kind of following the same exact format as our CL products. And I'll jump into that and kind of try to land that plane for everyone. Our first line would be our KL10 mechanical. Again, very basic, very economical lock, mechanical single code. It does have a key, but the key is not an override key. On our mechanical cabinet locks, the key is a key finding code, meaning I forget my code, I need in, I use the key, I turn the key 180 degrees. That allows me to turn the dial in an upward position, and the dial will actually stop on what the code is, because the key is entered in, and think of it kind of as a programming key. It's in programming mode now. The dials, when pushed up, will only travel or in sequence. Like in this one, you can't push it up. So you push it in sequence, starting 1, 2, 3. It will stop on the code. Once you've done all 4, then you're going to turn the dial and have access to the cabinet. The KL10, KL15, KL20, all the same concept. The KL15 is unique in that this lock is available in public or private function. The 10 and the 20 are private function only. And all that means, the difference in the cabinet language or cabinet world, private versus public. Public is like your hotel room safe. When you enter, there is no code programmed into that. You put your stuff in the safe, you close the door, you type the code that you want, you leave. That's public mode. When you come back, you type the code, open it up, get your stuff out. The code is now gone again. Private mode would be if you set it into private mode, that code always remains the same. You unlock it, reshut it, it's still the same code. So we do have some mechanical options in the cabinet line or the KL line. When we get into the electronic versions of our KL products, the KL 1000 Classic is probably the best-selling cabinet lock on the market. This lock is what has been driving our access control company in the US for 20 years. Everyone that is familiar with a cabinet lock is probably familiar with the KL 1000. KL 1000 is a 4-digit user code lock. You have an 8-digit master code and a submaster code and a 6-digit technician code. All of that mumbo jumbo simply means, to program it, you're using an 8-digit code. To program the lock, you're programming a 4-digit user code, and it only holds 1 user code. There is a 6-digit technician code that exists if somebody needs to get in, if this is in a maintenance facility, a hospital, etc., and they need to get in and perform some sort of maintenance. They have that availability. The indicator lights on the top of the lock, red and blue, again, red being bad, blue being good. This also is a 9-volt battery override. So if my batteries fail and I haven't changed them before they have failed, I simply take a 9-volt battery. I touch the terminal with the 9-volt battery. The 9-volt battery gives the lock enough juice that I can type the code and turn the key and get in, and then change my batteries. We do have slam latches available for these. They do take AAA batteries. They last quite a while. We have people that call us 4 or 5 years later that they haven't changed the batteries yet and the lock's not working. It's because they haven't changed batteries in 4 years. The KL Classic Plus is a lock we just came out with this year. The biggest difference is we have a 24-hour countdown timer in this, in the public function, as well as we've gone from 1 code to 20 codes. So now you can program up to 20 unique user codes. Other than that, it's the same exact footprint, same exact lock, same exact functionality. These are available left hand, right hand, vertical. The latest and greatest version is the G3. The G3 kind of adapts technology from both previous versions, and all the G3 is standing for is the 3rd generation. Again, you have your battery override. You have 20 user codes. You have a key override now as well, so I can get in using a key. And when the lock is unlocked, the front face of the battery of the lock, I'm sorry, slides off, and that holds my 2 AA or AAA batteries. I don't have to remove the lock from the cabinet to change my battery. So again, just trying to make everything more accessible, more easy for the end user to control that access. The lock is available in silver and black, as you can see. Very slim. What am I forgetting? It still has the battery override. So if in the event that you don't have the key and those batteries do die, you still have your 9-volt jumper that you can use a 9-volt battery to juice it up and open it up to change your batteries. The G3 is the same footprint as a KL1000 Classic. So anybody that has an existing KL1000 and they want to upgrade or update to the new 20 user code, or maybe they like the ability to change the battery from the face, this fits right in the same exact spot. No new holes are needed. Would just simply plug in the same spot. And those are electronic. And again, differentiating between electronic and smart, we go to our 1100 RFID. This is a smart lock. This is a hotel type MyFair card. As you can see, there's no buttons on this. It is a surface mount. The unique thing about this, unlike a lot of surface mount locks on the market, this is a battery operated but spring loaded latch. So if the cabinet is accessed and it's shut, it's a lot of times the doctors will just slam it shut and it doesn't go all the way back in. And that latch is still pushed in. It's not draining on the battery. It simply is going to remain in until someone remembers to push that cabinet in the rest of the way and allow that latch to pop back out. You do have a battery override with a 9-volt on this as well, but you're accessing it with a MyFair card, a wristband, or a fob, all available through Codelocks. We do have some software online that you can get into if you're using multiple clients, large banks of lockers, etc. We also, on the KL1100, we also offer it in a keypad version. So this would be a push button keypad versus a swipe card on just the plain 1100. Again, same exact functionality between the two. Programming is a little different because you do have the keypad, but that's really the only difference. Same slick, unique design, silver and black availability. You can enter a maximum locked period where these will unlock automatically if they're in a workout facility, a Planet Fitness, and somebody locks the locker and 8 hours later they've gone and they forgot their stuff. The staff can go in, these will unlock automatically, or they can be programmed to unlock automatically. Items can be removed from the locker and put in lost and found, etc. That kind of concludes our KL line, or our kit lock line. We do have a few other models in the KL line. Feel free to reach out after the webinar for additional. We do have some heavy duty KL products, KL 1200, this above the 1100, that are very niche products, a lot of OEM style, specialized cabinets, etc. Which takes us to our last category, which is key secure, and honestly call we miscellaneous. We manufacture key cabinets. And again, following the same traditionary line, we have mechanical key cabinets, electronic key cabinets, smart key cabinets. One of the main differences on our key cabinets is we can design a key cabinet specifically for your access control needs. Where I see these predominantly are automobile dealerships. Every automobile dealership in America has a back room, a janitor room, a closet somewhere in the facility that has a key cabinet. I have seen these key cabinets held together with a padlock. Some have no keys or no locks on them at all. And that is the heart and soul of the car dealership. That's where all the cars on that lot are held, or all the keys for all the cars on that lot are held. And we just offer a very economical way to control access to those. We have peg in, peg out systems, where you can hold people accountable. They can't remove that, they are given 3 or 4 pegs, color coded, and they cannot remove a set of keys without putting one of their color coded pegs in it. So now and conversely, they can't get their peg back out without putting the keys back. So it's accountability. I have a dealership that loves their key cabinet because of the accountability. It's actually helped them truly control their access, because their sales guys aren't losing keys anymore. They know they need to take the keys back the second they come back from that test drive, so they can get their pegs back out. And again, we can build these from 25 keys to 2,000 keys. We have done all different types and sizes. These are very heavy duty cabinets. They're not cheap run of the mill cabinets. Very heavy duty, durable construction. And what sets them apart on the access is how we get into them. Do you want a mechanical lock on it? Do you want a KL style lock on it? Do you want a smart lock? We can put the 4510 smart lock. So now, not only do you have that peg in or peg out system for accountability, now you have the audit trail as well. So you can tell exactly when someone was in these, when someone was removing a set of keys. Again, just a very popular product line for us for access control. We also have door controllers. Again, you have card code and panic functions. We utilize MyFair technology and all of our smart technology. So whether it's a CL product, a KL product, or our Access by Codelocks, we're utilizing MyFair. Anything, and it's not a proprietary MyFair. You don't have to use Codelocks MyFair cards. It's just MyFair compatibility. If a employer has their own MyFair employee cards, they will work on our cards. We can program them to our locks. We just need a key to get it programmed. But there are several other style HID, Squiz, a few other products that are cards, access cards, do not work on our products. Then you would have to use a Codelocks RFID card. That's essentially my presentation for the day. Kind of went through that quickly, but as you can see, we have several types of access control for any door, cabinet, key cabinet, mechanical, electronic, and smart. And we are a long tenured company that pride ourselves in customer satisfaction and helping you control access however you need to control your access.
Very good. Thank you, Greg. No questions have come in the chat. If you want to go to the next slide, we would like to thank you, Greg, Millis, for your presentation. We'd also like to thank those of you who are on the call for your participation and being here for this recording of this webinar. Again, this webinar will be made available in the next week or so. Please make sure you jot down Greg's contact information. If you do have any questions that you think of or future questions that you'd like to get a hold of him, he has his information here. Again, your feedback is important to us. You will receive a short survey in the next following day to give us your feedback on today's presentation. And if you're not already, you could follow us on Facebook and our social media. SHDA loves to stay connected. So thanks, Greg. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for having me.
Our program. Thank you. Have a great day.